Hello, everybody. Welcome to Conscious Life Collective and welcome to the Consciousness and Energy of the Week broadcast that we do every week. My name is Julia Bernatsky. I am the founder of Untamed Hearts and the co-founder of Conscious Life Collective. And I'm very excited that every Sunday we have a privilege and a pleasure to have Michael Ocher, who is a Kabbalah and a spiritual teacher, joining us in this project, Consciousness and Energy of the Week. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you, Juliet. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Yes, and so today I prepared a few questions that are very relevant to me, but also I've been speaking to a lot of people, and people are experiencing a lot of different, like a wide range of emotions. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you, Michael, was how do we make friends with our emotions? How do we use our emotions proactively instead of instead of emotions like controlling us or running our lives, right? Because emotions are a very powerful thing. It's very powerful energy that information is given to us. And also, guys, full moon.
Yeah, right now.
Full moon right now. So, Michael, I'm sure we can talk about that, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. All right, so Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Julia. So, Julia, that's a great question. And emotions are, it's probably, makes a huge part of our life, right? Of us. And emotions are usually very water energy, just in general, just so we know how it feels. It's water energy. It's something, some people actually are very detached from their emotions, right? Some people just really, it's normal. Some people just don't feel, and they don't feel, not just in general, but they don't necessarily feel stuff. They don't connect to the whole side of opening your heart, opening ourselves, feeling emotions, etc. More practical, pragmatic people are more on the side of just do things, etc. It's more of people that are water signs, for example, people that are, or the month that we're in, people that are very sensitive to emotions. They feel emotions, and it's usually, we look at emotions as something that should control how I feel. Right? Like, oh, if I'm feeling sad today, if I'm feeling unmotivated, that's just how it is. Kabbalistically, emotions is something that you can always detach from. And that's the key word, is not to feel that the emotions are ruling or controlling who you are, what you are, and what you should be feeling or experiencing in your life. It's actually the opposite. You are in charge of what emotions you have, and you can always alter them and do things, do spiritual practice, connection, in order to help you feel the way you want to feel. So it's kind of goes against, contrary to what we normally think. And it takes a little bit of practice. It doesn't come easily. It's not something that just naturally you feel like, oh yeah, I can just switch my mood from being very pessimistic, sad, and unmotivated into totally motivated, happy, and excited. No, it doesn't happen that way. First thing, like you said, Julia, is to make them friends, is to make them something that you understand that it's not a static, dogmatic energy that cannot be changed and transformed, but it's something that just happens. And the first step is to understand is that it's very easy to detach from them. It's much easier than we think. It's much easier to be able to become the observer of the emotions that I'm feeling, instead of being somebody who's under them. That's the key word. And also a beautiful example, before I forget, I always love how one of our astrologers in the Kabbalah Center loves to say it, is that it's like the weather. It might be raining outside, it might be beautiful outside, but it shouldn't affect how I feel inside. It's still up to me. So that's really what emotions are. It's definitely a good indicator of where I am spiritually, how I'm doing spiritually, but it's not a seal. It's not like something that will make you this person and that's it and nothing else. So again, step one is to fully understand that it's something that you can always detach from. So always remind yourself, I'm choosing this emotion. As crazy as it might sound, I know it sounds totally crazy, but usually we think the emotion is what I'm going to be feeling. And also, United States is born under the sign of Cancer. So US Americans are very sensitive, very emotional people. And we want to understand that, you know what, it's totally something that you can always detach yourself from. Not in a bad way, not to say that, oh, I'm feeling sad, so I'm going to ignore it. That's different. That's just being, that's just ignoring your emotions, not paying attention to what I'm feeling, but being open to understanding that I am feeling this way. I take responsibility. Also, it's key to take responsibility that the way I'm feeling is my responsibility. I cannot point fingers or blame or, make anyone a point at who's in charge of how I feel. It's totally my job. That's keyword, right? That's just also very important part in that I am responsible for how I'm feeling. But I'm not ignoring it. I'm just saying that I can change the way I feel today. Even if I'm feeling very sad, very depressed, I still know that it's my free will to feel the way I want to feel for the rest of the day or for the rest of the month or whatever. And it's very appropriate this month. It's the month of Scorpio, and right now today, Sunday, it's the full moon and sign of Taurus, two signs that are very intense. Probably some of the most intense signs in all of the zodiac. Out of the four most intense signs, this is two of them. And so emotions are very intense today. It's very heavy, could be heavy. It doesn't need to be, by the way, but the way it feels in New York, or the way I'm feeling, for example. One way, also a great way to change how you feel, is to open up, is to say, how do you feel? Is to share with somebody, a friend, somebody you trust, somebody you connect to, somebody you know who you can be, who can just listen. And when you're listening, by the way, there's no need to become a therapist and start immediately helping somebody feel better. Sometimes just the act of opening up and sharing how you feel inside is already a great start to detaching yourself and not being governed by your emotions, but becoming more above your emotions. And so that's a great opportunity to open up, to talk about them. Right now, as these two intense signs, the Scorpio, the hyper emotional, and the Taurus, the not so emotional, but very can tend to be very angry sometimes. So it's kind of, but it's a very healthy moon, by the way. It's a very healthy, emotionally moon. If a person in their chart has a moon in Taurus, it's one of the best places. It's the most stable, the most calm, rarely gets angry, rarely gets upset. So it's actually like a cure for this month. It gives you this balance, this stability, this kind of calmness, this detachment also. So it's a great day. It should be very good energy today. But the energy of the week, on the other hand, is the energy of letting go. So it's very different energy of the sign of Scorpio. The sign of Scorpio and Taurus, by the way, they're both very they like to control. They like to possess and control. It's two signs that are very controlling and possessive. That's their two of the main attributes of the two signs. They love for things to be the way they want them to be. And they also don't easily let go of situations, things in life, etc. They don't move on very easily. It's a very intense. Letting go is not in their vocabulary, either one of the signs. So today, the healthiest consciousness that we can have is this ability to think and be in the mindset of letting go. Just like I won't let go of anything that doesn't serve me. Any emotions, any feelings, any relationships, any physical things. Even, we clutter our house and our environment so much. So today, to meditate and to think of and let go of things that we don't need is very beautiful. Very, there's a 72 name. I don't know if we can share it with people, but there's a 72 name on that. Letting go of old beliefs, emotions, etc. One thing that we can let go, by the way, is the way we look at emotions. Everything is in our perspective, right? The beautiful thing about the point of any spiritual journey or growth is that you change your perspectives on things. And the way you look at emotions is also a different perspective. Before I started studying spirituality and Kabbalah, I also looked at emotions as just something that's just how I feel today, and that's it. But once I started to go on my spiritual journey, I realized it's just a part of me. It's not me. And it doesn't dictate to me that this is how it should be. I can easily change it.
I love that. So I'm going to show you guys I'm going to post this name, but also I just wanted to do like this little experiment. What if we look at it all together like this?
Right.
Does it come out the right way?
Yeah, it does. To me, it does.
So this is the combination for letting go, right?
Yeah. So this is a frequency of letters that creates a certain DNA of consciousness, and this consciousness is the ability for us, when you want to, by looking at this combination, your ability to let go becomes amplified, and you should receive assistance to let go.
And I wanted to add something to, this is a good time to let go of different things that are happening in our head, but also kind of like have a strategy of letting go. Like, for example, what I did this whole full moon ceremony, because full moon is a time to let go, right? Like in general. Right now it's amplified so much because of cosmic energies that are attached to like Taurus and Scorpio. Like there's different layer to it, but in general, full moon is a great time to let go. So you can do a ceremony. So you can write things you want to let go. Imagine yourself as if it already happened. Like, what is the transformation that is part of your life without those things? What kind of person you are? It's amazing. You can see you'll see the inspiration for you that gives you energy and strength to let them go. If you imagine what is happening without those like blockages or things that are clutter in your apartment or in your life or in your mind, and then I burn it. So I light the candle, I burn sage, and then I write those things down, and I'm really truly letting them go by burning them. I'm declaring it to the universe. No longer part of my life. So it's a little ceremony that is delicious to do.
Beautiful.
So
beautiful.
Back to you, Michael.
Yeah, no, beautiful. That's a great way to do it, to connect to the energy and to take advantage of all that's available. And so letting go, it's very, the idea of letting go comes from this week's story, where one of the probably very well-known biblical characters, Abraham, goes through, it says that he Kabbalistically, he's considered the first spiritual human being who started to work on his consciousness the most, and really, really transformed himself, and actually finished his correction completely, and became just almost like an angelic force in this world to assist humanity in its spiritual work. So he's very, very special for Kabbalists. And these 3 weeks, this is the second week, are just weeks where we're connecting more and more to his energy, to his light, to his wisdom and support. And what he went through is, to make the very long story short, he really wanted to have a son. He finally has a son. And after the son becomes 37 years old, approximately, the creator tells him, okay, so your next test is actually just to bring a sacrifice, your son, to me. So obviously that was, you can imagine, any parent would understand, cannot even comprehend the idea of bringing offering their child as a sacrifice, not to mention their only son, etc. So Abraham kind of comes to us this week with the ability to help us let go, to help us transform. And And again, letting go also doesn't, one of the things we can get from this full moon is that everything has a step-by-step process. And what Julia said was really beautiful, that there's steps to letting go. It doesn't need to be a dramatic, drastic, let it go all at the same time, all right away, let it go, and just do it in one shot, and you have to let go, etc. So this moon is very, very stable, very, very step by step energy, very practical and very relaxed also. So what we want to also understand is that letting go of things in our life that don't work for us does not need to happen instant, all in one shot right away, that you need to let go. It could be with just a realization, with just understanding that, I need to let go of this actually. I actually need to let go of this consciousness, this whatever it is that you're working on, right? This beliefs, this relationship, this physical things, just taking that first step, saying that, what, I need to I would want to let go of it. Or saying, I wonder how my life would be without it. Like, how would it be if I didn't have this in my life? How, whether it could be addictions, it could be relationships, anything in our life that we would like to let go. Again, it doesn't need to happen right away. And also, tonight is actually very special. Both today and tomorrow are very special days Kabbalistically. It's both full moons, and the full moon is lasting till tomorrow. And usually every emotions are amplified again. Scorpio emotions are amplified, but Taurus is bringing this calmness, this stability, this kind of being on track, being, like a kind of like a bull. But the problem with a bull, it rages sometimes. So as long as it's not raging, as long as it's able to process its emotions, it's great. It's a great time to let go of things that make us angry and upset or unmotivated. It's not the most motivated moon, so it's a good time to kind of like motivate yourself proactively. And obviously emotions, this whole month is all about emotions, and we want to become friends with them. That's one way that if you think that your emotions are against you, then you're going to have this battle with them, right? Then we're going to have this kind of conflict, this battle, this misunderstanding, this conflicts in our life. Sometimes we also need to, my teacher Varav had this very strong consciousness and mentality that sometimes you just need to do things, and it doesn't matter how I feel, right? So this is where the ability to go above your emotions comes in. And it's very interesting that actually women are more emotionally stable than men sometimes. Most of the time, their ability to control emotions and be open and express their emotions is much, much better. And also there's such a thing right now as emotional intelligence, right? That there's different kinds of intelligence. One of them is emotional intelligence. And this is the ability for you to check in with yourself, to start your day where I think I shared it last week, where you kind of can ask yourself, who am I today, right? Just when you wake up, right away when you wake up, or in any part of the morning, when you ask yourself, who am I today? Why am I feeling this way? What is the reason that I'm feeling these emotions? And do I choose to stay with them, or do I choose to move on and feel something else? What is my decision? But in the morning is our very powerful times when we can calibrate ourselves, when we can calibrate our energy, when we can set the intention for the whole day. And you can use that time in the morning to say, okay, so this is what I am today. This is what I'm feeling today. These are different emotions that I'm experiencing, but I would actually like to feel this. So, how can I transform that? How can I move from feeling unmotivated, sad, whatever it might be, the emotions that we don't want to feel, and actually amplify the positive ones? The positive ones are always, we want to look for feeling joy, peace, serenity, love, appreciation. Actually, love is very hard to hard to define for people. Everyone has a different definition of love, but appreciation is much better. Appreciating. And in a state of appreciation is a very high state of consciousness that we can be in. You can even appreciate negative emotion. This is very interesting. So we think that negative emotion needs to make you feel bad. But you can say, what, I appreciate that I feel this way because it might help me dig deeper into myself and see what is not working in my life that I might be lying to myself. What is not working in my life that I'm pretending that it's okay. But if you do that and you don't address it, your emotions are going to tell you that something is not right and something isn't working. So eventually, you want it or not, it will come to you either one way or another. And one way that it comes to us is actually emotions. So you cannot hide as much as we all want to, as much as we all try to. It's impossible to hide from yourself and from the evolution and from the growth that you're meant to do in this world. Doesn't matter how hard you try.
Michael, I wanted to take us a little bit off the path for a moment, because I think it's a big question that a lot of people are asking themselves. You said a lot of people are having a hard time defining love.
Yeah.
What is love?
That's
such a high emotion. What is love?
That's a very good question. Again, it's complicated because as many there people, there might be that many definitions, right? I love the Kabbalistic interpretation of it and explanation is that love is the same numerical value as words for oneness and care. And so when you feel love, you feel oneness with that person, but also your desire to make that person happy is more than anything else. So to me, those are very good examples. Again, everyone might have a different one, but to me, I love that explanation that your desire to make another person, another being happy is a high priority for you. Right? So that's a beautiful way. Yeah. So that's why it always has to start with yourself. Also, it has to start with actually loving the creator also, which is an abstract thought, but it's something that is also a part of evolution of a human being in this world, as Kabbalists say.
Yeah, I wanted to share. I love that, and it's exactly that, when you put another person a priority before your personal needs. And I wanted to add another angle. My mentor, my friend, my teacher, his name is Nitzan. He lives in Israel. We were discussing love. What is love? And what I embrace and embody right now, love is energy. And it's the only thing that is real. Like, that energy is real. Everything else is kind of like an illusion or derivative of it. But love is real. In love is a feeling. But love is energy. And it's just, I find for myself this to be like what makes the most sense for me.
Nice. I like that. It's definitely something that you experience. It is energy.
And it's very high energy. So
definitely,
guys, don't give up on love. It's beautiful.
Yeah, totally. All right, Julia, should we do a meditation just to sum this energy and bring it all to us?
And before we do meditation, you gave everybody this amazing tip today, Michael, and it's how to get up in the morning. And I just wanted to quickly say it again for maybe some people who might have joined us later.
Excellent idea. Yeah.
Michael said, ask yourself in the morning, who am I today? This is so powerful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful question. And I'll share. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted to share my experience with when I started asking the question first. So when you first started, it might not be, you're not meant to answer, just so you know. Questions are amazing when you just ask and you let go. Again, letting go this week. So you let go of your desire to know the answer, but you're just asking the questions. You're opening yourself up for it. And when I started asking this question, it took me a while. Like, I just asked it in the morning, and then I realized, okay, so I might be this. You automatically try to answer it. But then after a few days, when I woke up, I immediately knew that, oh, this is who I am today. I am feeling this, this, and this. And then I understood that I can choose how I'm going to feel for the rest of the day. It doesn't need to be that this is not a stagnant thing. This is not like written in stone that I am meant to feel this way or be this person. I can actually be whoever I want to be today. There's absolutely no limits to who I am today. So that's just very beautiful way to start your day.
So
and obviously the great questions of how does it get any better, show me all the possibilities, all these questions are really, really great.
So this is the formula, guys, how to make friends with your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot to do with how we start our day and what we choose, right, Michael?
Yes. Yeah, having also somebody, either having somebody or understanding, having a time when I have the emotions to sit down and fully experience it. And fully, not to hold it as like a reserve and it's there and I'm afraid of it and I don't want to deal with it. You feel it, go through it all the way. Let it go through you all the way. Maybe you need to cry, maybe you need to laugh, maybe you need to sob, whatever it might be. Just go through that emotion and let it out.
And if someone feels angry,
someone feels angry, it's probably, the deeper reasons. There's something deeper, maybe what would be a good way to release that emotion? I mean, maybe just sometimes to scream, let it out also. Could be. But again, try to go deeper. Anger is usually connected with an inability to express love, right, and care. And so, that ability is usually, if you really connect to it, you're also going to be able to release it through a way of tears, maybe, or one way or another.
So releasing your emotions, releasing negative emotions are very important, not to hide from them.
Yeah.
Face them, acknowledge them, be aware. The first step is to be aware of them, because sometimes we're not even aware of them. Because we want to talk about beautiful emotions, but there's some emotions that are not so positive, and they are ours. We're human beings. We're experiencing all of it, so it's okay.
Maybe also, Julia, sorry to interrupt you, but also not to label them as bad.
Yeah.
Bad is a very relative term. What's good and what's bad, it's relative for me, for you. Everyone has a different definition also. And a lot of times we are taught that being sad is bad, being moody, etc. All these things is labeled as bad, but maybe be okay with it also. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Again, that makes it more dramatic, to be sad about how I feel.
In sadness, a lot of beautiful things are created. So there's good part to it. I'm not encouraging it, but embracing exactly how we are and how we are not is a way to let go as well.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Thank you. If you guys have any questions, you can type it in the chat. If you have questions about how to make friends with your emotions, which is the topic of today's conversation, and if you have any questions about full moon, type it and we will try to address them either during the broadcast or later. And now, is it a good time for the meditation?
Yes, let's do it. Let's do a meditation. Let's download some energy, connect to this incredible full moon, connect to our ability to let go, to find out what we really want to let go, actually. What do we really want to let go? And might be some things that we shouldn't let go, we're not ready yet. But to just have this different perspective. So the meditation is always very simple. It's, you want to close your eyes, feel and be as comfortable as you could possibly be. You try to breathe with just your abdomen. Try to focus to breathe with your abdomen, not to use your chest or your upper body. Take a few breaths just to relax you, to calm you, and to be still. And after that, we want to concentrate and focus our consciousness in our heart. And then we want to meditate to send our consciousness to the middle of the earth, or just to feel energy coming from earth. There is so much energy in earth. So to feel that energy of light of the Creator going from the bottom of your feet, through your calves, your knees, your thighs, your whole torso, your body, your abdomen, all the organs, your hands, your neck, and your head being filled with this new energy. And then you want to visualize as this energy starts to pop from the top of your head and form a beautiful ball of light above your head. This ball of light, Kabbalistically, is called Tselem. And you want to meditate and pretend that you are in this ball of light already. And we want to release and send this ball of light above ourselves, above the building we're in, above whatever space we're in, above our city, state, country, continent, the whole planet, and go above this influence and go into our solar system and travel faster than the speed of light through the entire solar system to the edge of the solar system, to the edge of the universe even. Go through the entire universe, go to the edge of the universe, and go through the edge of the universe. And pass through layers of light, and getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And eventually coming to a very bright layer of light. Keep going higher, and then a golden layer, and then a jello-like substance, thick water feeling layer. And then you keep ascending higher, and then you see an opening in the distance of iridescent, beautiful, sparkling light, pearl-like light. You want to approach it, go through this opening and enter the plane of the Creator, and imagine being surrounded by just pure energy. Pearl-like beautiful energy, sparkles with blue and pink at the beginning, and we want to try to ascend even higher, and where it just becomes pure energy. And meditate and see yourself and see your bowl melt and become one with this energy. And here we're able to be in a very strong meditative state, in a theta brainwave, ability to connect to the light force of the Creator, to the Creator of all that is, becomes amplified for us. So we want to start with receiving and understanding a perspective, a download, that we are not our emotions. So if you want to know what it means and what it feels like to have an ability to always detach from my emotions, my fears, my beliefs, my anger, any of those things, say yes. And imagine yourself being, the Kabbalists teach, to be like an eagle that just hovers above earth and has this ability just to glide and observe everything from a distance and not be involved in the situation, but be above it. We also want to bring a lot of healing, because this moon, Taurus's moon, is very health oriented. It's connected to healing Kabbalistically. It's connected to healing on all levels, on our spiritual, on our psychic, on our emotional, on our physical, all levels of healing coming to us. So if you want to receive the healing for every level of your being, every level of your existence, from the highest to the most basic physical being, say yes. And the key, to both of these, to this energy, is obviously to be in a state of happiness and really state of joy. And if we can do that today, if we can kind of like cement this consciousness, this energy, this feeling, that it will last through us forever, this feeling of joy and happiness. So let's meditate to ask the Creator to give us the true definition of joy, to give us joy, to amplify this attribute and this virtue within us, and to send it to the entire world. So if you want that, and if you want to participate in that, say yes. And we also want to receive the ultimate energy of the Creator, which is unconditional love of the Creator. We want to send it and broadcast it to the whole world. So let's meditate and ask the Creator to bring us unconditional love of the Creator, to send it to the whole world, to the entire world. There's so much need for love, for healing, for joy in this planet of ours. So if you want to participate in that, say yes. And finally, our ability to let go. Once we have love, once we have happiness, once we're healed, then it's so much easier for us to let go of anything that doesn't serve us, or just to understand that, maybe be open that this might be better to let go of. So let's ask the Creator to, in the universe, to, in the most merciful way, to guide us and show us what is good for us. What are we ready to let go of, really? What are we ready to start to let go? So if you want that, say yes also. It might be letting go of who we think we are, letting go of ourselves also. To really discover who we are, we sometimes need to let go of ourselves. So before we come down, we want to, not come down, but just return. We want to have, if you want a little time, a few seconds on our own with the light, with the Creator. If you want to ask any questions, any assistance, anything that you need specifically in your life, you can also ask and meditate right now. And before we open our eyes, you want to imagine yourself being rinsed by this beautiful energy. Fill yourself up with it again. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. For sure. Thank you.
So what I got, just so out loud and clear, just want to repeat to everybody once again. Remember that one of the things you can let go of is who you think you are or who other people think you are. And you can choose
Yes.
who you want to be.
Yeah. Isn't that a beautiful idea that it's a choice?
It's a choice. I love it.
Yeah.
It just gives you life back. Like it gives you the power to create your life.
Totally.
That's you. You're not an effect of something. You're causing it. You're creating it. You're the creator. It's not beautiful. Thank you so
Totally.
much, Michael.
Thank you. And also, I forgot to say that don't forget that you're awesome.
You're awesome.
Yes.
You're awesome.
It's essential.
It's essential.
Yes.
Huge hug to everybody. We're going to be back
Thank you.
on Sunday at 12, November 8th,
Yes.
with consciousness and energy of the following week. So please join us. If you're watching us on YouTube, please click subscribe so that you will get the notification about this program. And if you like us, give us thumbs up, leave us your comments. We will personally read it and answer all the questions that you might have. And in the meanwhile, I'm sending you so much love. And Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Julia, for joining, for broadcasting us. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye, guys.